So this is going to be epic if it goes down. I'm about to connect the Iraq dinar revaluation and pairing with XRP on April 15th. A possible exit ritual for Michael Jordan on April 5th, connected to the national championship, Florida winning the Natty on 4-7. So let's start off with LeBron James. So I have been watching LeBron James. Somehow I'm connected to him. I have 3 out of 4 ciphers connected with his name with mine. Okay? So I'm on the same frequency. For some reason I just follow him. So I naturally see his numbers. Well, I noticed whenever he passed Kobe Bryant in Philadelphia, which equals 101, when he passed him in all-time points, there was a death ritual, and Kobe passed away off Highway 101 within 24 hours. Well, this year, what sparked my interest is that LeBron James, on January 3rd, passed Jordan in all-time 30-point games. That let me know immediately there is going to be some kind of a ritual that happens with Jordan. So I started paying attention to his numbers. Jordan wore the number 23. He also wore the number 45. I thought the ritual was going to be around February 3rd, March 2nd, something to do with 2-3. That passed. So now I've realized it's more than likely going to be 4-5, which is also connected to the national championship. So now all 3 of these things are intertwined, and what has helped me connect the dots is the number 93 and the number 15, and also the number 45 or 54. So Michael Jordan, when he got passed in points from January 3rd to 4-5, Michael Jordan wore the number 45, is exactly 93 days. Why 93? Well, I've been on the Iraq dinar, and this year on 4-1 marked 93 years exact since the Iraq dinar came out in 1932 on April Fool's Day. April Fool's Day just passed. Trump just talked about Liberation Day on the 2nd. I'm getting ready for the 5th, and that's whenever Final Four is actually playing. Duke is currently on 126-41 losses in tourney play. I'm connecting that with Kobe Bryant. He died on 1/2/6 at the age of 41. You see the numbers connecting there? So, whenever I look at 93 days, 2-4-5, now I want to connect other things to that. The very next day, the Bulls play the Hornets. Both of those teams just happen to be teams that are connected to Jordan. Jordan owns the Hornets, part of the Hornets, and he played for the Bulls. He was the GOAT. He was crowned the GOAT. So now let's talk about the crown. The crown is represented as number 15. The number 15 in the alphabet is O. That is your halo. In Freemasonry, that is your enlightenment. You've heard of Beyonce, Halo, Halo, that song. You've also seen some games that are out. Do you have your halo? Okay? That's your enlightenment, your higher level of spirituality. So, there has been GOAT talk between Jordan and LeBron constantly. Who's the GOAT? Well, we already know that Jordan is crowned the king. Someone else can't have the crown unless the other one no longer has the crown, right? So there has to be an exit for Jordan in order for LeBron to obtain that crown. Well, after Kobe passed away, after LeBron passed him in points, well, LeBron just passed Jordan in all-time 30-point games. So I'm getting ready for an exit there. Now, let me connect the 15th. So you've got so right now we have Jordan passing away on 4-5, okay, an exit, And I don't know if these people live on forever. I don't know if they play other roles. You just won't see them in our matrix anymore. Okay? I don't know if they actually die. Now I'm not some kind of witchcraft, just so you know, I'm not any kind of a witchcraft person. I just see numbers come to me in the news and I connect the dots like Pee Wee Herman. I've just always had a pair of eyes that have seen. Now, let's get back on point. Iraq dinar. There was a story that came out on July 4th, 2023. July 4th is our Independence Day, correct? July 4th is also 4774, our national championship this year, 4774. 47 is the 15th prime. 15 just happens to be the O, crown. It's oxygen. Oxygen is what we need to breathe. It's really our ether. If we don't have our ether, if we can't breathe in oxygen, we lose consciousness, which is that's what keeps us alive, our consciousness, all right? Without our consciousness, we're not here. We need the number 15. We need the ether. We need the oxygen, okay? Now, oxygen is also the 8th element on the periodic table. So you got the snake, the Ouroboros, the 138, the snake that bites its tail. It's also a frequency, okay? It's also history repeating itself. It's how our cyclic cycle works in this universe. Infinity. So let's get back to the Iraq dinar and the number 15. So we know 93 years ago the Iraq dinar came out. We know that the 39th president just passed away, whose initials just happened to be JC, Jimmy Carter, Jesus Christ. The day after he passed away, LeBron James turned 40. 4 days later, he passes Jordan in all-time 30-point games with 563 times that he did that. 563 is the 103rd prime, and he passed Jordan on 1-3. 103 is also the 27th prime. 27 is currency. 4-5, the day that I'm saying that Jordan may pass away, leaves a 270 days left in the year. 27 is currency. Why am I saying currency? Currency. Flow. Money. Iraq dinar. So the Iraq dinar, the new currency, when we went into Iraq, we used 9/11 as the excuse to go into Iraq, to control the oil and all the other narratives, all right, for us to go into Afghanistan and everything. That new currency came out on 10/15. 15 again, the crown. All the way to 10/15/2004 to 1/15/2004. So 10/15/2003 to 1/15/2004. Okay? Both the 15, the crown. So now I am connecting that to this year, which just happens to be, we know that everything really starts, our real new year starts on April Fool's Day, which is 4/1, April Fool's Day, which is really 1/1, which means that 4/5 is actually 1/5. Again, 1/5, the crown. 10 days later is 4/15. That's our tax day when taxes are due. 4/15. Really? Well, that just also means that it's 1/15. But again, 15 is the crown. And what I noticed is that XRP, I actually had a prediction back in 2019 that XRP somehow was going to connect to the IQD, the Iraq dinar. Now, this is before anybody was really even getting on cryptocurrency, much less Iraq dinar. You would have Iraq dinar kind of took off in 2020. Iraq dinar, there's been a giant cult of people that have been on that have been thought of as crazy. And everybody thinks the Iraq dinar is a scam. And then there's another little small group of XRP. Well, actually, XRP is huge now, but it didn't start until 2020. Okay? Nobody was connecting the two. But I have stuff out there saying, I think somehow I'm connected to both of these. Somehow they're going to be connected. Well, there was a story that came out on 7/4 that they may pair, confirming my conspiracy from 2019. It actually happened. Now, nothing's actually happened from that since then. But now, with my numbers, I have connected the day that they said that story, the first news story, 7/4/2023, to our tax day this year on 4/15 is exactly 93 weeks. That 93 again. Now, 93 in Freemasonry, in the cults that are out there, I have read some stuff, and I'm not going to go into any details, okay? But it's the 3 to the 9. Now, 3 to 9, let me just help you connect something that you're going to associate it with. 9/11/2001, one of the biggest days in our history. It happened, and that number, if you break it down, is 9. 11 would be a 2. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2001, 2 plus 1 is 3. So it'd be 9/2/3. Everybody has seen the conspiracies where 9/11 is in movies. They've also seen the 9/2/3, the 239 everywhere in movies. And you could say that's also another display of 9/11. But it could also be esoteric or Masonry saying the 3 to the 9, the 9 to the 3. Okay? A way of saying it. Everything in our world, when we talk, is called spelling. We cast spells in anything that we say. Even though they say, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words in it will never hurt me. We know words hurt people and affect people. You can't even say the N-word, okay, without affecting someone. Even someone that doesn't even care, you can affect somebody that's just listening, okay? It's no different with any other word. Everything was put together using numbers to create a frequency which affects people. So, 3 to the 9, 9/11, 239. When Trump got in office, you know how much he weighed? 239. 239 pounds. Not this time, the first time. It's just odd that they would say that. So, right now, we know that Jordan, okay, his birthday is on 2/17, okay? That's the 48th day of the year. I have a bunch of stuff out there that is also connected to the total solar eclipse that happened last year, which was on the 99th day of the year, which is judgment. It hasn't been a year yet, which means there is judgment coming. And what happened? Where did that X cross? It crossed over Illinois. Where was Jordan? He was the goat in Illinois. All right, so you have his birthday is on the 48th day of the year. The total solar eclipse was on 4/8. And 48 days from his birthday, 2/17, is 4/5, the day that I'm coming up with. So I have several layers of connection going to 4/5. Now, I'm going to connect to 2/17. His birthday is 2/17. What are the buildings that fell on 9/11? Which we're talking about with the 9 to the 3, the 239, okay? 9/11, the buildings that fell were 1, 2, and 7. Jordan's birthday, 2/17, okay? It's the numbers that matter. Don't worry about the order. Why is that significant? Because this year is a 9 year. 2025, 2 plus 2 plus 5 is 9. The life path for this year is 11. So it's a 9/11 year, just like 2001. That's why you've seen all of the plane crashes. So now I've connected that 4/5, 93 days from whenever LeBron passed him in 30-point games, and the total solar eclipse, Jordan's birthday, 4/8, going 48 days later on 4/5. After he passes, you're going to see the next day that Hornets and the Bulls play, and they'll probably have some kind of ritual and numbers that connect to Jordan as well. Probably a bunch of people with 45, somebody has scored 23. They'll probably have some Jordan numbers, some 113, because his name equals 113. Now I'm going to connect it to, he's from North Carolina. He went to school in North Carolina. Now Duke is in the Final Four right now. Their current tournament record is 126-41. Kobe passed away on 126 at the age of 41, and that's the record for Duke right now. All right, Florida, they're 53-22 with 2 more wins and to win the national championship on 4/7, which is the 15th prime, which is the crown. They would be they would have 54 wins. That would connect to the 4-5, and it also connects with Kobe. Kobe is also, his name equals 54, okay, which is 45. And if Duke wins on 4-5, they're going to go into the national championship on 4-7, which is the 15th prime, 47, with 127 tournament wins. What is Jordan's birthday? 217. What are the buildings that fell? 1, 2, and 7. And then 10 days later, after 4-5, I'm expecting on 4-15, the XRP connects with the IQD. Maybe the Iraq dinar gets paid out in XRP. All right, whatever the value of XRP is, that's what probably gets paid out to the people that own the Iraq dinar. If any of this happens, this is epic, and it all comes from me just paying attention, just seeing the numbers that are thrown at my way. Let's see what happens. If none of this happens, I'm crazy.